Let's go. Yeah, public enemy number one. When we mobbing, trouble in the streets, here we come. What is poppin'? Public enemy number one. And we mobbing. Bring it on, bring it on. Mayday, mayday, mayday. Trouble on the way, way. I want my revenge. Welcome to the payday. Hungry for destruction, crazy for the cray-cray. Better clear the exits, make a way to vacate. Ready to rage and riot, I wanna raise a silence. Yeah, yeah. Living the safe environment is insane asylum. Yeah, yeah. They wanna make us quiet, breaking the cage of silence. Yeah, yeah. They wanna make compliance, we gon' restrict the fire. Yeah, time to write a new code. Let's let the rules go. Show them why they name us public enemy Uno. Yeah, they say we ruthless, we savage. Yeah, there's a method to the madness. Yeah, they say we psycho, the baddest. There's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness. There's a method to the madness.
Alright, hey everybody. Let me know if you like the intro. The animation stuff is somebody else's stuff. He's got his thingy. I was gonna wash it out or remove it, but it just doesn't feel right. So let's jump into this. I've been waiting to make this video for a long time. I've just been tired lately. I'm really tired. I'm tired right now, actually. Just fuck. But alright, doesn't matter. The point is we had to make a video, and the video is about how all of you are assholes. Okay, so a good portion of you over time have told me that, you know, having any characters over 6 is useless because of the no gold factor. Well, this will not only prove that wrong, but it'll also talk a little bit about my other videos, which I recommend you check out. And if you go check out how to get to 1490 fast, I talk a little bit about this method, this concept, like 1 a day method, 2 a day method, and basically we'll get into it. So I think the first thing to start off with is we're going to talk about the different tools that we're going to be using, and I want to preface that this is going to be I want to say that this is going to be a longer video because there's no way to do this in a short period of time. But I have done a little bit of the legwork. All of this is done by 2 really intelligent friends, and then I just kind of know how to use the system to a degree. I helped a little bit. But basically the concept that I tried proving in that video, and now I have the math to prove it. And I've had this for a while. I just haven't made the video. I've been so tired, and the clowns have been like draining me, to be fair. But a 1475 unrested character will produce or more than or less than the same as a 1340 with rest, or a 1355 with rest guaranteed. So basically what I'm saying is anything beyond 6, if you have characters sitting on rest and you have 6 other characters sitting on rest and you just do them, you know, 3 days a week, and that's what we're going to show, they'll basically produce the same amount of resources as playing 6 rested characters. So we're going to get into that, but so that's not a dispute anymore. That's a fact that a rested 1340, 1355 character can compete with your higher branch characters. And most people don't have 6 1475s or higher. The reality is they're probably doing the 1445 dungeon. So, you know, take it with a grain of salt. You know, you run the numbers, you do your own thoughts. I'm giving you the logic, and because I got to make it quick. Otherwise, it'll take too long. So I got to blow through the numbers. So next up, what we're going to show you is just real quick. I can show you how this works. All I got to do is type in here a number, and it will change the correlating numbers. I think the multiplicative, so if I change that to 3, it should change back. Yeah. So it's basically just multiplying this. I don't know if you can see that, so I hope you saw that. And essentially, using this system, we were able to basically figure out like our weekly productions and what we would produce. And I probably should have cleaned this up a little bit before doing this, but essentially if you do 6 characters with no rest, or 6 characters, no rest, 7 days a week, which means you have to play every day, this is what you'll produce. I think, yeah, was that what it was? Yeah, because it was 1475 characters, so that's what you'll produce. Without rest, it's really, you know, it's that bad. If you play 2 days a week, this is what you'll produce. So if you play like the 2 weekend days, so back to what I was talking about, actually, let me explain this correctly, I'm sorry. So using this system and this stuff, we combine it with this system, figuring out, you know, I'm going to be able to play on the weekend, and I can only play on the weekend. I don't have any other time in the week. How my rest is basically going to build, what I'll have for rest, when I'll get rest usage, and using this in combination with this, we're able to see kind of what your losses are and figure out what's a nice happy medium. It'll also help you schedule your stuff out in advance. Once I clean this up, maybe we'll make it downloadable. We also have this chart, which is going to come in hand as well, because if you only have, like 20, 30, 25, 20, 30 hours a week to play, you should be able to do your 6 characters unrested. And that's with an average of 42 minutes a character, which is kind of selling it. I think my Guardians take a max of 5 or 6 minutes, so that's 10 to 12 minutes, and then my Chaos Dungeons don't take me more than 10 minutes, so you're looking at less than half an hour to do your dailies. Just keep that in mind because it's going to be relevant as we move on. So now back to where we were and why it's relevant. So now let's say you play 3 days, and in the 3-day method, going back to this page, you would basically, I forget what it was, I think you play Tuesday. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you play Tuesday. Those 3 days, you would produce this for resources, assuming that you got all rested days too. So I think it's actually something like this. And I had to start with 40. And then it would use it, yeah. You'd skip, play. Or yeah, skip, play. That's what it was. Yeah, it was literally the 3 cross days of the week. And then I think this one was here. It was something to this effect. Forgive me. But it allows you to plan a month out, and then you can kind of calculate what your losses are. And the reason why this stuff is important is because we're, let me show you another referenceable concept, I guess, real quick, just really quickly, is because of this. All of you guys have seen this, how much it's going to cost us to get characters up. Actually, let's pick a more relevant character than that. Hell, even just my main. Just look at the main. 1520. Yeah, just to get to 1520 from where I'm at currently, it's a lot of resources. So that's really why I'm doing this. I just want to show you guys some stuff. And no FOMO or nothing. Rest assured, from what I've seen, you should guarantee to be able to get 1, 2, maybe even 3 characters where you want them based on the farm rates, as long as you're consistently playing the game. Not consistently every single day, and that's what I'm trying to show here, but consistently playing. Also, this would take about 10 point. So this is where it got interesting too. There's a lot to talk about here. It would take you about 10.5 hours to complete this 7-day cycle of 6 characters, whereas it only takes 4.5 hours if you play 3 days. So the 3 rested days are really what you want to go for, 2 or 3 rested days, because it's taking you a fraction of the half of the time, and you're only losing again what they said, 33% of the resources, give or take, RNG. But so now we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to see what a whole roster can actually produce. So these are the fun numbers just to give you the idea of 1-a-day method, 3 method. The 1-a-day method I didn't actually do here, because to do more examples I have to keep basically, to do any example that's not utilizing either a full day of rest or no rest, I have to basically cut these in half, because the way that we did most of our data was we recorded it in 2s. So this isn't one run, this is both runs. This isn't one run, this is both runs. So unfortunately, yeah, I'd have to cut everything in half, and I could do it. It's just legwork. I'm lazy, right? That's all it really comes down to. But I'm just trying to get the principles across, so you guys can figure this shit out yourselves. I know kind of where I'm at, what I want, and where I'm happy with, and I'll talk about my account too if it makes it easier. But so now, actually, this is my account for the most part. I have 15 characters. I'm gonna have a whole roster eventually. They're actually all 75 though. That's the thing. I actually just got that done, so oof, that's not gonna work. So you can see it adjusts all of the stuff for me. So every single week, this is basically what I'm making. And if you look at the resources that were needed, so let's take a snapshot of this in our mind: 44,000, 13,900, right? And think these aren't really tradable, or they're bound for the most part. And the juice, I don't know why it does that. So that makes more sense. Now remember, the juice isn't on one character and it can't be transferred, right? So that, like, there's some parts of this that are a little bit harder to kind of think through. And this is all unrested, for the record. This is if, like, you're doing, again, the amount of time. And if you want to figure out how much time it's going to take you to complete your stuff, you can pull out a calculator. But in addition to the calculator, you can also go back to this. You can time your content too. But let's say it's taking you a half an hour to do your content. I think that's a good average. If it's really taking you 40 minutes to do your content, that's insane. You should be cutting that extra 12 minutes aside for raids and shit. And obviously that has to work into this as well. But let's just say you're doing your basic content. 30 times 15, because it's 30 minutes a character. It's 450. Then we're just going to divide it by 60. So 7.5 hours in a week to do all of that. Now we're going to show you the value in that. So it takes 7.5, if you're playing like even 10, 20 hours a week, 7.5 hours to get the value that you're about to get is insane. So now let's just take like basic evaluations. So 13,000, or we'll say 14, give me a break, I'm rounding up, times, I think it was like 10 recently. That's not right. Yeah, because it's 14. Instead of doing that, we'll do 14 times 10. Yeah. Yeah, 14,000. So it should be about 14,000 gold. So I just removed a 0 because you do bundles of 10. So 14,000 gold just in reds alone. And then for shits and giggles, we'll say 44,000 gold or 4,400 gold. So you have, you know, like 15 to 18k between just the stones. The shards, we're going to evaluate them, but we're going to evaluate them a little lower than where they're at. We're going to evaluate them at 45, just to make this fair. Fuck, we could probably evaluate them at 40 and it would have made it fair. Yeah, so that's the value that you're producing weekly just in honors. We'll even do it by 40. So for 7.5 hours of your time, just saying. It's like a sure thing, and that's really what this is going to be about. I'm not even going to do the honor shards because 453. Yeah, that's cracked. So indisputable. It's indisputable. And then even like I could even do the silver too. That's why it's so funny. 10 million, and then it gets divided by 100 times 1,000. 100,000. So it's 100,000 gold and silver if you were to like buy it, and then of course the gems. So we have 1,330 of them times 3. Oops, sorry, divided by. Nope. Divided by 3. So that's for level 2s, level 3, level 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're gonna round up. We're gonna say you can get about 2 7s in a week if you're doing all your content unrested. On 15, that's not what I got when I was doing it. So I'm assuming that the majority of the gems you get in a week are from your boss rush tickets, actually, because I was getting like 4, 5, or 6 a week, and I still can. I actually get more now. So either we have an inaccuracy somewhere in the gem farm, which I doubt, to be honest, because of how many pools we pulled from, or yeah, boss rush OP. Like, it's possible. Like, it is possible, boss rush OP. But yeah, so that's not bad. So you can produce just a general straight up 1 to 2 7s a week, though, just from grinding your account. That's not bad. That's really not that bad. And again, that's all unrested, completely unrested. And then let's see what else. So I mean, you just saw the gold value. Like, that was easily in the 100,000s, 200,000 gold a week. And if you want to see, I did this for shits and giggles for myself yesterday, so you can see the resources that it's going to take to get to these places. Okay, it's going to take a lot. You're going to need them. It's actually why I was buying for the last month and a half almost, I've been buying all of these, every single chest, because the resources have been at a value where it's been worth it, and they're worth it. Can I be completely honest with you? Because of the price of juice and how juice is always going to go up in price, it's always worth it. Like, these chests have always been worth it. The reason I'm not buying them in the next month or two, I guess I'll just say it, is for two reasons. One, they're not going to be worth it when we get the new materials. Two, in addition to not being worth it once we get the new materials, we're in a economy right now, which is what I call a save economy, where you really want to capitalize on investments. So like, you don't even really want to hone your character if you don't have to. Like, do whatever you need to do, obviously, to progress your account. But if you don't have to do much and you can save your gold and buy things that are going to get inflated, that's what you should be doing right now. And that's basically what I'm doing. So now, instead of doing this, which was producing 36,000 gold a week, which now that I look at it was terrible, but this actually, yeah, that's pretty bad. I can't believe that, but I was getting books, so I guess it was keeping me afloat. But now what I'm actually going to be doing is this again, which is what I was doing for a little bit, but it was actually kind of dumb. I shouldn't have done it. But eventually I will go back to buying some of these chests, because the reality of it is that the juice alone on some of these is worth it. Like, the 700 chest might be worth it. I can't wait to get, like, my main's almost done. Like, if I buy 2 of the chests the next 2 weeks, he's done, and then I can just take all the gold and not take any of this shit anymore, because this one's killing me too. But yeah, so basically what I wanted to show you was that I'm basically producing 51,000 because it's a clown. But let's just say, for shits and giggles, if I didn't, it's 80,000, because that's really what we're going for here. Is the extreme, geez, I hate that I have to do, I'll fix this later too, I'm not going to fix this right now. But it's about 84,000, okay, and you just saw that the silver alone was worth about 100,000, so like, I don't think I need to argue any further for that. I don't even need to pull that one up anymore, because it's just a fact. So you should be buying those chests for the most part. You should have been buying those chests, and probably should always be buying those chests, just because the honor shards alone are going to throw that value like through the roof. But I digress. It doesn't actually matter. You do what you got to do. Because I'm also not doing it right now too, for different reasons. So you have to remember this is an evolving game. I don't call it an economy. I usually call it an ecosystem, because if you look at it as just a numbers game, like an economy, you miss a lot of things that you don't miss if you see it as an ecosystem. Like, understanding that there's an up and down to the way that the game's flowing, not just because of the progressional releases, the content that they release, but due to where players are at, positional wise, like where they're at upgrade wise, gem wise, engraving wise. So a lot of these things matter, as we see the market get more and more saturated. We're seeing the jewelries that people were paying 100, to 75,000 gold for, people are paying like 500 gold for now. So, and I never made that video, but I was going to shit all over people who wasted money on engravings. And again, actually, this is another point. So if you're a real world trader, this doesn't apply to you. Or if you're an omega whale, this doesn't apply to you, okay? But if you're a normal, average, everyday player like I am, your resources matter. So if you're wasting hundreds of thousands, and I'm going to say it like it is, wasting hundreds of thousands of gold on pieces of jewelry that weren't going to return their actual value, especially because we're moving into the longer phase of the game, which is going to be a year. We just came from the game that was 6 months to a year, but it was multiple pieces of content, multiple pieces of jewelry. Now we're going to have one piece of jewelry for, as far as we know, ever right now, right? Because they're at a con, they just got new content and didn't get new jewelry. So you prep better at the long stage, not at the fucking sooner stage. But anyways, the point is, if you're a real world trader, it's irrelevant, right? It doesn't fucking matter to you. It will never matter to you. But for shits and giggles, because I actually could just do this. Let's go ahead and take this character and just make him 1302, because you could buy a power. Okay, I had to clip that because my information popped up, and obviously I can't let you see that. So we're even going to go into the legendary gear. We're going to, or no, we can't, I think. Yeah, we can't. So unfortunately we have to actually do this the long way. So first we're just going to, why does that just boost it automatically? It's just, I don't know. Either way. So now we're just going to try to get to 1415. Okay, so just get to 70 is 12k. This is what it's going to take just to get to that point, right? So now multiply that by 6. So, imagine we're just going to do the juice. And remember, that farm rate that I showed you is 614.75. So to refresh that, not what I wanted to do. That was pretty rough. I think it's this one. Yeah, 1475. That's what you're producing in a week. So in a month, you're producing like 4 mil silver or something like that. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. Each day would be that times 7. No, that can't be right though. Yeah, trust these numbers more. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna do this because now that I already know my numbers, so I'm just gonna do what the average person's working with. Okay, so 252,000 juice. So remember that these characters aren't producing that together. They're they're producing it individually. So split that in 6, I guess. Imagine that each of them is producing about 40,000 a week, right? And we just said that you need 65,000. Now, granted, you get a lot of handouts in the game, but you need 65,000 just to get to 1370, right? Or let's put all the honing buffs on. Sorry. Wait, did that go up? Oh, it didn't go down much. I'll tell you that. You fuck. But yeah, so it's quite a bit. Obviously, the gold's not that much. But then let's just say you want to go even further than that. So you add these things up now. Remember what this was. Try to at least. And now we're going to go to Legendary. And we're going to see what it takes to get to 1415. Okay. It's not as bad. So 337,000 juice. That's weird. So it's looking even less likely, right? So you see where I'm going with this? Like the people who have been like 1540 for a while now, like we know who you are now. Is I guess what I'm saying. Like anybody who watches this video, you can literally take a look at your friends, figure out from their playtime. Like I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be a dick to anybody who says that they played the market, but the reality is the reality. I'm just kind of getting tired of the fugazi ass shit. Like I can't stand the fakeness. Like if you cheated, you cheated. It's cool. No one cares. Like no one really cares at the end of the day. But I definitely don't like people who are cocky about it. Like you don't get to have an ego for a hollow accomplishment, I guess is kind of what I'm getting at. But regardless, again, it doesn't apply to reward traders if you wasted money on jewelry because you can just buy gold, so it's irrelevant. But for players that needed their gold, this shit mattered. These resources mattered a lot, actually. But anyway, so you're just seeing that the gold so far has only been 22,000. So the rest of this has all been farmable over weeks and weeks and weeks of time, right? So, and we've had plenty of time to get this. So I'm not even actually going to dispute these because you would have been grinding, and this would have been pretty easy if you were getting even 20k a week, 8 times whatever it is, 4.5 weeks. Yeah, times even 20k. 720,000. So I mean, actually, you're kind of right on the cusp of what you needed. So let's actually see how this works out, because I'm actually more curious now. So now let's just get you to 75, because that's what matters, right? Unfortunately, I can't add in that other amount, so we'll just add 100,000 to this, because that was, I think, what it was before, wasn't it? Like 100 or 200 or 60. It was 60,000. I don't want to fuck it up. 60k. So we'll say this is like 900,000. We'll round up a little bit. That's actually not that bad. 70,000 gold. 900,000 honor shards. What did we just say we could have produced? What was it? 720,000. So you see where I'm going with this? It's very unlikely that you didn't RMT if you're at, certain stages of the game, I guess is what I'm saying. Now, granted, that changes. So this is what I'm here to show you, that if you're somebody who made, and this doesn't mean these kids can't RMT too, but if you're somebody like me who made a bunch of extra characters, that was less of an issue for you. Here's why. Or maybe more than that, I guess. Oh no, I have an 85, that's why. Yeah, so we'll just change one of these. Because striker, gotta give up them. So as you can see, the numbers were a lot more. I don't remember what they were before, but they're almost like doubled, I think. So you can imagine what I would do with those resources is I would sell the extra resources. I don't think I need to explain this. You'd sell the extra resources, then buy the juice that you're short. Or buy the blue crystals, get the juice that you're short. So obviously I missed all the other gold that you're making on your account and stuff like that too, and you make up for it in different ways. But the point is that you can't really farm it, right? There is no way to actually farm it. So the people who went to that next level, right, and were there months ago, or leveled their weapons and everything to 25. Let's just go to 20, right? It's just really unrealistic. Okay, I get it. You cheated. We all know it. No one gives a fuck. It's just stop being cocky, kids. Like, it's really annoying because they're the cockiest, gatekeepish, elitist douchebags of the game, and you cheated. So like, get bent. Genuinely, I don't care how it sounds. I can call you out because I can analyze your variables. I can look at your account. I can read the shit that you spew. And if somebody's got more than 2 level 10s, they're cheating. Period. Because farm rate wise, I can show you that too. Like with all the gems that you produce, and at the amount that I'm producing now. Okay, I didn't even look at the gems with the 6 characters, but with the amount of gems that I'm producing now, it would take me like, I think it was 2.5 or maybe 3 months to get a 1 level 10 or 2 level. I forget what it was, but you get the point. So I just, the silver is not hard to farm. A lot of these things aren't that hard to farm. It's really just going to come down to the honor shards, and you can't really do anything about that. Even if you're farming it at this point of the game, you would have only farmed about 720,000. And then, like, let's say you bought that pirate coin chest, which you didn't every single week. I've been buying it for a while now, and I wanted to recommend this to people. But let's just say you did, right? It's the same math. I think it was 36 week, right? It was 8 months times 4.5. Sorry, 8 times 4.5. 36, yeah. And then times 5k. So you would have got another 180,000 if you've been buying the pirate coin ship the entire time, the honor shards. So that's not bad. That could actually equal you out because it was 720, so 8, 9. Yeah, and with the events and stuff, like, you're seeing where this is kind of going. It is doable. I'm not trying to say it's not, but if you got like a full roster, there's a good chance you cheated. Of 1540s. Also, I was saying that this was before, to be fair. I guess the cheaters would now be more like at this stage, right? Because they're more... Yeah, that makes more sense. Can you not even get to 1540? Oh. Okay, we went on a little bit of a rant, so we're just going to come back to reality. Yeah, basically, that's the amount of resources that it would take you. You're not producing all that much gold when you really think about it on your account. Because you're taking the chests, we just established that. Like, even if you're... let's go back to that one more time, I'm sorry. Even if you're... Because even if you're doing clown right now, you're actually losing gold. I was making more gold before clown. So, yeah, 66,000. I was making 73, I think. And that's not even accurate, too, because you're probably going to be taking these. And if you're not taking them, that's cool, actually. You're probably making a lot more gold than I am every week, but... that's what I'm bringing in every week, right? It's not that much. It's really not. But back to what Matt has here. Okay, so essentially that was the proof in the pudding, resource-wise. And now that we've established that a rested character of 1340 or higher produces more than the max character dungeon you could have at the moment. I don't have the Guardian data here, but we looked at enough of the Guardian data to know that it was pretty much the same concept. It would be nice to know how many stones you can produce and how much you have because of how much you need, right? But most of us sell them anyways, so... But, yeah, it would be cool to see all those other numbers as well. I know that's one of the images that we had as part of our data had the Guardians, and there was a few of the Reddit data sheets that we looked at that also had Guardian data, but it was pretty much the exact same stuff. So I'm assuming that you just follow the same logic, you should be pretty much good. But fuck that, dude. I don't do any Guardians below the turtle. I wasn't even doing Duscaludus. I refuse. So good luck to you if you're doing anything below that. I respect it, but I don't got the goddamn patience for that. So yeah, so we've established rest of a certain level is equal to rest of another level. We've established that for your time overall, it's better to actually do the rest method. It's better to do the rest method and sell the extra materials. Never mind all the gold runes, the extra completions, the extra gold runs, the extra south runs, the extra, just everything, the extra everything that comes along with that. And again, we never even really did the gem evaluation. We just said it was 1 to 2 sevens, so whatever that would be gold-wise in addition to the week. It's just a better deal. It really is a better deal. Like, oh, this was the thing, by the way. So it was 6 unrested versus 15 unrested. And remember, this takes half the time to do. and you're going to produce a little bit more than you would here. Again, you're going to take a loss on the shards on those specific characters, and it is a loss. It is a pretty big loss. So to get this as well, then you'll be able to change them. The reality of this is there's a lot of friends that I have that are like on 1, 2, or 3 characters, and they think that's okay. You're losing value. Like, you really are losing value. What could you possibly still be doing on that character after 2 hours, right? 3 hours almost on that character. So, and then especially 5 hours. Like, if you're playing anywhere from 40 to 80 hours a week and you're still in a roster of less than 6, wow. Like, you're just wasting your time. Genuinely, actually. Also, if you want to learn how to figure out what your playtime is, it's not too complicated. I'll do that real quick too for you. So we've been playing the game for about 9 months. We'll start using the 9 instead. So you just do 9 times 4.5, which is about 40.5 weeks. And then you divide it by your playtime, I think. Or you divide your playtime by that. So now I have 2,500 hours, I think. Just about. A little bit under, but whatever. Divided by 40.5, I think it was. So I'm playing about 61 hours a week since the game came out. Again, most of us were playing more when it first came out, but an average of 61 hours a week I play, which means that I fall in this bracket. So I can actually do up to 11 characters unrested every single day, no problem. And if you actually use my time schedule, which is about a half an hour, I can do 17 characters unrested every day. I will say that that would take some serious management to do, and a really big lack of burnout, but I would never do that. I would never do that. I should start doing all the chaos dungeons every day, but no, I like the method that I'm doing. I play about 3 days a week, 4 days a week, so that's it. I hope this evolved your minds. Again, this all kind of 42 minutes times 6. Okay, so that's in a day times 7 divided by 60. That's it, 29 hours. Okay, so that math earlier was actually wrong then too. So like really what it would have been was 30 times 15. And I only do the chaos dungeons on the second half, so this isn't even really accurate, but 30 times 15 and then times 3 because you do rest divided by 60. 22. So it's 7 hours less playtime to get about a third of the percent resources. So, but you're literally playing 3 days instead of whatever. But those 3 days you're definitely playing a lot. But you definitely get the point. I'm gonna chill for a bit. I hope that makes sense. I hope that you guys fully understand all of this, and I hope it helps you, honestly. And this isn't like for FOMO. This isn't to tell you played the game wrong or anything like that. Although all the people who told me that no characters beyond 6 had value, you were wrong. Very wrong, actually, because it's why I'm able to keep up. But
yeah, but there's a method to the madness. We gon' do it our way, never needed the kudos. Kill 'em with the chaos, only way that we do know. Lawless and ruthless, that's a dynamic duo. That we get the job done while you running your food hole.